Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have hip hop artist Noni.
Hey guys, what's up?
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. Cash out go ding ding. Big account going up and go ching ching ching. Got a new wig to go with the threads. Got my lights like a blink blink blink. Cash out go ding ding. Big account going up and go ching ching ching. Got a new wig to go with the threads. Got my lights like a blink blink blink. Take a pic click click little bit. 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 Take a pic.
I just wanted to start out by digging into some history. What sparked your interest in hip hop music?
I probably say growing up, my father he taught me how to talk because I said talk rap because I've always grown up in the church and I sang in church. And then one day my dad I kept begging this dude. I was like, Dad, you gotta see me sing. You gotta see me sing. I started off with singing. So he came to church and he's crying like a baby in a crowd. And he pulls me aside. He's like, babe, I didn't know you could sing like that. And he's like, but your dad used to rap back in the day. And I'm like, he's telling me the rundown of his childhood of him rapping. And then he told me that he wanted to make me basically a triple threat, rap, sing, and be able to write my own music as well as perform it. So he was my ghostwriter for the longest until I really understood the history of music and how to make a song and how to properly record. And I lost count. I got hundreds and hundreds of shows. I performed since I was 6 years old. So when I had my last interview, they were like, "How many shows did you do?" I'm like, "You gotta hit the hundreds at this point. You've been performing for 20 years, nonstop."
Okay. Um, can you tell me some of your musical influences?
Um, Whew, that's a lot of them. Lauryn Hill. I love Lauryn Hill. Erica Badu. Oh man, the kids is getting in trouble downstairs. Woo Lord, I'm glad I'm up here. But Lauryn Hill, I was raised off of Lauryn Hill, Erica Badu. I love music, Soul Child, the way he writes. Nicki Minaj is an influence. I listen to any music that really has substance, but those were the biggest, impact. I love Missy Elliott though. Her and Timberland, man, they was running the game, and I kind of want to bring that back to hip hop. Hip hop used to be fun, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now, you told me you played a lot of shows and you started out young. Was there Did you have any problem overcoming stage fright?
I never had that. I get the butterflies before every show, like everybody else, but I got something like in me that is like brewing to come out. I don't know. I like the attention. Growing up, I was kind of the black sheep, of the family. So performing, it was like I don't got no choice. I got everybody in the room's attention here, and I like this. And then now with all these phones, when I had these shows and their phones is like this in my face, I love it. I be feeling like that chick. I be feeling good. So I don't really get stage fright. If anything, I'm more nervous with things like this because Malik wanted me to get on his show, and I was just like, bro, our timings is always off. And I finally kept it real with him. I'm like, bro, I'm nervous with stuff like this. It's like when it's rapping, it's nothing. When it comes to talking, I don't know.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your writing style? Do you come up with beats or do you have words written already? How do you start?
Really, what I do, I was apologize on interrupting. So, I'll hear a beat, and I don't know. I like to notice instruments that nobody else is, really listens to. Like I'll hear a beat and it can have a ton of instruments, but I'll pick out like the flute that is most distinct. And then whatever the pattern, the beat's going, I try to have my flow bounce around. But being that it got so many instruments, I look at it as, you know, a challenge, something fun like, hey, I could rap this way, but I could rap this way, but I could rap that way. But I really just hear it and then I write to it. I've had times where I had something just written just to write it and I'll match it to the beat later. But majority of the time, if I hear that beat, stuff usually comes to me.
Okay, that's interesting because you could use like anything, like a guitar, drums, keyboards. You could go off and say like, when you do that, do you try it out with a couple different instruments and see how it flows?
Really, what I do is I don't know. I try to find a flow that, how do you describe it? It just goes anyway, if that makes sense. It's just always going to be on beat. Because like for example, I love Nicki Minaj because she may start with one cadence, then she's switching it to another, then another, and another, and another, but it's always on beat. So that's what, as somebody like that, I kind of studied as well too. Like, oh, I like the way her flow switch. The beat might even get more aggressive. Her flow gets a little more aggressive. So that's somebody that was an influence on me with that personally.
Okay. Um, do you ever do any like collaborations with other artists on their songs?
So I just did two collaborations last year. It was really for men. I don't do a lot of features because I'm gonna be honest. You don't meet too many people that are passionate anymore. Some of the features I've done, great friends, people that I honestly, for example, shout out to Brother Mans. Manny, I love him. We did a song for my album last year that I can't wait for the world to hear this year. Certain individuals, I think their passion really got to be on a level of mine. A lot of people will say, "Oh, sis, we got to do a song," and I'm like, "Hey, we gonna do a song. It's got to be the real thing." I like professionalism. No matter we're friends to strangers to one another. I've featured on my husband's material a lot of times. We still got to work. He took a little break, but this year, like you said, bringing out everybody's artsy and creativity. I'm digging in my friends, my family, everybody's butt this year. I'm like, hey, I done brought it. Everybody that I see passionate, I'm gonna try to bring it out of them this year. So I'm a work. I'm trying to work with literally any and everybody, as long as they're professional, as long as they like to have a good time, as long as they are just good, genuine vibes. You know.
Okay. I wanted to dig into your new song. Like, whenever I heard it, it was very catchy. Whenever I first heard it, you were putting up like Instagram clips of it. And I was like, when are you gonna release this thing? Because I want to hear it. And can you tell me a little bit about that and how you arranged it and stuff like that?
Sure. So, last year was one of the worst years of my life, to be honest. But I used a lot of my pain into ammunition, and it was just I felt like I was getting hit back to back to back. It first was my home, then my car, then my best friend. She passed away, and that was kind of the icing on top of the cake for me. Like, wow, okay, God, I'm listening. I hear you, God. Like, what am I supposed to do? I stopped music for 3 years. And when my friend passed away, she dug in my butt them 3 years. She was like, girl, why'd you quit? You're actually good. Why'd you quit? You can actually perform. Why'd you quit? You actually make music for people like my kids to listen to. It's not raunchy, or it's something that everybody can listen to, multiple audiences. So when she passed, them words retraced in my brain. And I'm scrolling on her Instagram, and I made a little joke to myself because me and her love, we were such. She was such a girly girl. Every time you see that girl, new wig like me. So that's why we click so much, you know. So I was scrolling and I'm like, man, my girl used to always like to switch it up. My goodness, new wig, new threads. And I stopped and I'm like, I like that. So I took my phone, start writing it down, and I was like, okay, I want to write a song for her personally because I was grieving, I was so angry, and I didn't want that to lead to anything of self destruction, you know, because I feel all of us, when your back's against the wall, you're like, okay, what next time? I feel like I'm losing it, you know. So when she passed, I didn't get the respect of a phone call from no one, not her family, not her friends. They knew how close we were. But I think at the same time, I felt maybe they're coping with it because it just happened, as well as she passed 2 days before her birthday. So it messed me up. Mother like me, and she just dropped. That was it. Had an asthma attack. Her mother found her blue. And I hated the fact when her mother was describing her death to me. You know, it was like nobody cared. Her life wasn't valued. So when I wrote Click Click, I said, I don't care if nobody else in the world don't keep your memory alive. I will. So when I wrote it, as like it's making me teary. I talk about it because when I wrote it, it was everybody. Oh, I can shake my butt to that. Da, da, da. I thought of my best friend Rowita. She loved to dance. She liked to have a good time, and she loved to show the hell off. So anytime I'm on that stage, I feel like she's right in the crowd screaming for me, and that's why I go so hard. And that's honestly the inspo behind that song. But I didn't expect it to be that big. It's getting played in different cities, different countries, and it's like it makes me feel good because one day I hope to attain great success where I even pay on our babies' tuitions and make sure they're good. You know, I'm still grieving really bad, but at least I'm grieving in a way where it's like Ro wouldn't want me to stay here. Ro wouldn't want me to stay stagnant. Ro wouldn't want me to stop rapping because she's no longer on this earth. So when she passed, it was like I felt like somebody cut the cord for me to go even harder. You know?
Never press stress with my shoes up. Never that. Goddamn, got them bothered. All of these hoes on up like a barber. They running, they mouth get harder. I'm writing these lines like an author. I ball at the mall. And I'ma just splurge with this paper. If they talk about your life, you're doing it right. That's how you know you got haters. I don't miss in my outfits when they wish list step blink out. I don't miss in my outfits when they wish. Got my soul icicle bling bling. Take a pic, little bit. 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 Take a pic, little bit.
That's an awesome story. Like it and the song is kind of like a tribute to her, you know.
Yeah, and so many people, you know, it's funny, closer friends to her. Because me and my friend, I'm going to be honest, we grew apart. When I got married, I grew apart from a lot of people. I'm a mom first. So a lot of times, hey, let's go to the club. Been there, done that. I'm tired of the club. Why can't we get a bottle of wine? I'll cook you a nice dinner. Come to my house. You know, I don't gotta worry. You get too intoxicated, I'll throw a blanket on your butt. You go to bed on the couch. You know, so it's like I've outgrown so many people, and it's still some guilt at times where I'm like, I should have been around. And why did I start rapping? I wish she was here to see how great my career is headed. And now I can say it's a career because I'm finally getting paid, you know. And it's like it's the best feeling in the world, just all this success, all because one person believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself, you know. So Click Click is it's such a fun song, but it has pain behind it, you know, personally. But it's a fun song because it's just some of the things we talked about. It's just funny, you know, like in the second verse I was saying, you know, how guys will blow up my pictures and then the girlfriend's mad at me, you know, and that's stuff we used to talk about, like, girl, can you believe so and so didn't like my pics and this and this, you know. So it's really just keeping her memory fresh and alive, and I'm not gonna stop until I get to the top and even further.
What's your plans for 2025?
So I probably say my first plan. I got an event in March. and we call it the Uncut Jams because it's a group of us, but it really originated from me and my best friend Chop, who's my manager and my business partner of going on 11 years now. That's like my big brother. And we always talked about throwing events together, but it was always just a headache. We had it. It was just like, do we really want to go through that, being that you're just now really getting your name back in the field? So finally, we were all on the phone. It was me, my friend, shout out to Rojo Inferno, very talented guy, such a sweetheart. And then my best friend, Michael Wiesel, he's my mastering engineer. So we're on a four-way, and I said, you know what? I said, this is going to be a year of no hesitation, no procrastination. All of us is going to agree on a date right now on this damn four-way call, and we're going to do an event. I don't care. And they're like, okay, what about spring? And I'm like, how about March? So everybody's like, what in March? We don't want it too soon. We don't want it too late. We don't want it this. So I said the 22nd, and then everybody agreed with it. And I said, that's the date. We're not changing it. We're going to keep up on it, and we're going to push it. Let's stop living in fear. If we fail, at least we can sit back and say, okay, we'll do this and this and this differently. So I got that. I can't wait for this because it's going to give people space to be themselves. It's a space where people aren't competitive. It's a space where you're going to feel the love in the room. It's so many different talents, live instruments. We don't value art here, is what I realized in Pittsburgh. It's so much art, from artists that paint to poetry to rappers to singers. We don't value people's artistry. So I was telling my best friend, I'm like, me and him, we're always the ones that it could be probably five people in a room. And most of these shows, everybody's dispersed. They'll be outside smoking a cigarette. I'll be in the crowd, don't even know the person is screaming the loudest because they were brave enough to hop up there and tell us who they were. So I figured, let me build a platform for people who love this as much as I do. And then I got small businesses coming out, so they can get a name for themselves. And a lot of the businesses ain't even out there yet. So it was more of a, why'd you choose me, Noni? And I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm trying to figure this. And I'm like, because I see something in you that once you see that in yourself, you're going to be unstoppable. So I got that going in March 22nd, Saturday, 6 p.m. to 10. So everybody come out. Is at the Forge Winery in Homestead, PA. Very excited for that. Pre-sale tickets is only $15. And you get some delicious food. Like, who ain't gonna want to go somewhere and get some nice food, and not food that is just little quick stuff, little pizzas. It's so many people part of it, and everyone's adding their talents. I got a friend, great with sound. He's like, hey, you don't even got to pay me. Can I just make sure everybody sounds great on the stage? I got another person, hey, can I sell some sunglasses? I don't care. Is just tell your friends to pay a ticket, come out, and bring great vibes. Bring people who love music. So I got that coming. I was going to drop my album in April, but it's so personal. I'm not ready yet. So I just had a talk with my best friend Chop. I'm like, hey, bro, I know we was aiming for the spring. For the spring, for the summer, let's make it about visuals because that's what I feel I need more of. And then the album, I feel personally, I'm just going to let God lead me on it. So that was my two big things this year. One of my kids to turn 5, my baby who's autistic. That's something big happening because she was nonverbal. She's on the spectrum. So, this year it feels nice that she's old enough to do certain programs and to watch my baby flourish. So great things. I'm able to do things more with my daughter this year. I want this year to be more family oriented for me as well. You know, so that's what I got going.
Mhm. Now, who are some of the artists that are playing at that show?
Whoo, Summer Rae. I love Summer Rae. That girl, Summer Rae, is but overall, I've never met an individual like her that is not afraid to be authentic, not afraid to be themselves. And I met her years ago. But when we reunited, it was funny. It was on a bus. She just seen me. She's like, Noni? I'm like, Samurai, where you been? And it was just as if time never faded in between us. So when I start watching her even perform, I learned from her. And she's younger than me, and she would pull me aside. We would talk, and I'm like, sis, why aren't you afraid to be vulnerable? And she's like, because there's somebody out there I can be a voice for. And that touched me so much where I said, I want her in my lineup only because she's different. But she's different in a way that she makes everyone in the room stop and be like, oh God, who is that? She's beautiful, beautiful spirit, beautiful energy, and just somebody that's always been rooting for me to win. And I feel the same with her. I'll promote her music more than she does. She's like, sis, here you go again. I'm like, I genuinely, everyone in my lineup are people I want to win, who's been an impact in my career. Brother Mans is performing. He's one of the headliners. He got excited. He's like, can I bring my bass? I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, rock out. I have a good friend. Her name is Sydney Baxter. She's actually in Johnstown. When I say this girl can sing, she gives a Angie Stone, a Jill Scott vibe to the game. And I'm excited because I had a couple friends like, hey, I play instruments, this and this and this. So I told her, I'm like, how would you feel if you had an instrument on your set this time? And it got her telling everyone out Charlestown. So, it's a lot of talents. Shout out to her. She's been pushing heavy. I think she got so many people coming, it's gonna look like a family reunion up in there. So many people. Malik, he's actually going to have his podcast because my goal is to have a summer event. But I tell everybody I'm preparing for the summer because I know it's going to be great success. But let me cherish this first because I'm getting flooded. It's just everyone is just, can I be part of it? How do I get it? How much do I pay? Da, 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 da. I'm like, whoa, okay. It's a good feeling, but it's overwhelming. So, his brother man's is Tyree Drake. Shout out to him. He's phenomenal. One of my friends, Kev Clemente, very dope. He actually stopped the music scene for a few years. And now that he called, when I called him, I'm like, I want you in my lineup. It's time. He's like, this gonna be a nice comeback. I'm like, it's time, my friend, it's time. So many beautiful talents. And like I said, Malik's gonna interview the artists. I told him, you're such a great host, you're great with your podcasting. How about we bring it into a public setting this time? And he was very excited. He's like, you want my brand? I'm like, yeah, bro, won't you interview all the artists and the businesses? And that's content for us. That's content for you. Combine it together, we're promoting each other. And it's a full on circle of promotion and marketing. And hey, this person sells this, but this person does this. So I wanted to have people that I don't have to ask them to share this person's content. If you see Samma Ray just dropped a single, which is called Addict. I love that song. I didn't have to tell my group, hey, share this song. They were already on it, and that's the people I want around me. And that's the people I want in this event. So I'm excited. It's so many people. I can't spill all the deeds, but it's so many people. So many people that I personally love, like family.
That's awesome. Now, now, as far as you were saying you were gonna release your album, but you're gonna hold off on that now. Do you plan on releasing like a couple more singles before you release your album, or what's your game plan?
Truth be told, with my album, so I got a beat dude out Europe. This dude is crazy good, and he has a versatile ear. So shout out to Quarterland. That dude's dope. I came across his Instagram. I was just bored, and I was just scrolling. I'm like, finally, somebody that is versatile like me. When I buy the beats, there's written contracts. So more so, where I'm at is I could push the album, but I want my paperwork right. I want to own 100% of my royalties. So if something happened to me where I'm dead and gone, my kids can own all of this. So that's the biggest thing. I want to drop another single. I got a song called One Sided I would like to drop soon, but I'm more so I want to get the visuals going because I notice how the world is. They're big on catchy music, catchy hooks. Is the beat and it's them visuals. People get famous for the stupidest crap. They really do. They'll sit there and pour milk on her head and it hits 10 million and I'm over here like, God, I just spent 3 hours doing this video doing my makeup for this click click song, and I done hit 700 views while you got 7 million. It don't get famous for the craziest things. And I figure with my album, I'm like, I want to take my time. I'm gonna drop little things in between, but I'm more so focused on the visuals. I want to gravitate different audiences this time, and I want to show the world, like, I really want to pay homage to like people like Missy, like I said, who brought the fun to hip hop. So some of my ideas is gonna be crazy for Click Click. I'm excited. That's my next step, is dropping a music video for that. So that's what I want to do in spring, and then I'll push the album since the song's becoming bigger and bigger, you know?
Hmm. Let me ask you a question. You've been talking about bringing fun to the scene and stuff, and over the last couple years, we go out to clubs and stuff, and we see people holding their phones or on their phones. They're not even dancing. They're not talking to different people. I mean, we need to bring that back where it's fun. Everybody looks forward to going out and getting dressed up and stuff like that.
Exactly. And that's the thing that this city lacks. It's like, I say, it's like, not to toot my own, me and Chop's horn with this event, beat beat, but not to toot our own horns, but what I've been learning from certain individuals is promote your event months ahead. Some of these people will promote an event. They're like, "Hey, Noni, I need you to perform." I'm like, "Okay, when?" "Next Friday." And I'm just like, dude, that doesn't give me time. And then they want a show mix where you're not rapping on top of your vocals. Then they want you to do a 20-minute set, and you're like, whoa, buddy. I would even like a month. You gave me a week. I'll still do it because I feel my manager Chops always telling me, like, be prepared for the worst and the best. When it comes to this industry, you gotta be prepared for the unpredictable. But it's more so I feel the game lacks luster, period. Like with the music. It's just when I go to some of these events still, it's like a person will be singing their heart out, everyone outside smoking weed. You know what I mean? Little stuff. Oh, selfie. This person is pouring their heart out. You don't know what they've been endured to even be on this stage. So, that's when I came up with the idea of, I'm bringing the fun to this music scene again. I'm bringing the sportsmanship. I literally told people, like, when I perform and they're in the back, I'm literally like, hey, you guys think you could come to the front? Because my man is like, y'all asked for entertainment. I'm here, and let's all respect each other's presence in this building. So that's how I want my event, where it's like everyone there is going to feel valued. I feel some of these events, we're professionals, and you're going to pay Nicki Minaj. Why can't you pay, certain individuals? So I want to pay my artists. I want them to come out, enjoy themselves, network, have different people. Roho!
Yep.
Everybody's logging into your live, bro. That's one of my artists in my lineup right there, and he's actually the headliner for the first set. And this dude is crazy good.
Trying to trying to get it here.
Yeah, like I was saying, Randy, I just want to bring the fun back to music. I want to bring the artistry. I want everyone to respect that we're all different artists. Like, I may flow this way, but Rojo, he raps another way. But instead of a beat, I feel like this city has a competitive mindset. It's always like, hey, you doing your thing, but I want to do my thing bigger. And it's so much money out here. There's so many people in this world where it's like, I may get 20 million streams. Bro, right here may get 50 million streams. Why does it matter? We are all winning in our own special way. His path is not my path. His destiny is not my destiny. So why I love this event, what we're throwing, is like, it means so much to me because everyone in the event means something to me. They have a special place in my heart, let alone some of them, they're like, I felt they didn't get schooled on certain things, like with performing. Some people, it's just, you're a phenomenal performer. I wish I can this, I wish I can that. I'm like, hey, this event coming, sound check. I love you enough to tell you work on this, working on that before these people show up. We don't know how to take our knowledge to strengthen the next person's weaknesses either. We'll make fun of that person, and it's not even the city, the world will. You see the way that one girl was dancing? School the girl, give her some damn dance lessons.
Okay. Where can people get a hold of you? Facebook, Instagram?
Yes, everybody can follow me on the gram, Instagram, one and only Noni. Where's he going? But one and only Noni. I'm everywhere on iTunes, everywhere. Spotify for Noni, N-O, and then a space N-I, all caps. I had to make it like that because I've been called Noni for 20 years. So I was just like, I noticed people don't get it too mixed up now that separated it. No, in me. My mind is more so like you illiterate if you can't space it out at this point. But they would call me Nani for 20 years, Randy. It's just coming to the stage, Nani. I'll be like, who the hell is that? It was one time they said that, bro, and I was at the bar just sipping my little drink, and they're like, coming to the stage, Nani. And I'm looking around because I'm like, that's not my damn name. So, somebody tapped me, boo, you supposed to be up there. I'm like, they didn't say my damn name right. So I know it was me.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Really, yes. Everybody, please come out to the Uncut Jams event in March. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a great turnout with such beautiful talent and people there, businesses. I wanted to even say, Randy, I would love for you to come and represent your brand as well. We could discuss that after here. So if you wanted a table with just sitting there passing out your business cards, you know what I mean? I want you to get exposure for your brand as well. So I'm excited. I'll click, stream it on all major platforms. Rest in peace to my best friend Rose. This one's for her. So that's all.
Cash out, go ding ding. Big account going up and go ching ching ching. Got a new wig to go with the threads. Got my soul like cigar blink blink blink. Cash out, go ding ding. Big account going up and go ching ching ching. Got a new wig to go with the threads. Got my soul like cigar bling bling bling. Take a pic,